All right, so not only is Storyline's drag and drop really easy, but it's actually really cool and fun because no matter what objects you want to work with, shapes, images, text, people, characters, or anything, you can make them draggable. So anything can be a drag item here. In this case, we just want to use the drag items to complete this puzzle, this shape. And then when we click submit, if we got them correct, we'll actually see the final shape that we created. Now, if you're following along, I'm working in optical illusion start.story. Now, what I've prepared for you, what you're starting with is just a single slide with some objects and some images. So the images are the pieces that actually are going to complete the cube, and then we have these circles right here that we just created, these vector circles in Storyline. So we just took off the fill, right? No fill, and then we went ahead and added a dashed line for the outline. So just something to get you started. Now, the one thing that in this example, this one was a little bit more technical because we have these shapes and it's not really clear necessarily where they're going to go. So when I name these, I actually spent a little bit more time naming them than I probably would need to for a regular interaction drag and drop. And that's because I really wanted to make sure that I had these ovals, these circle drop targets in the right place. And I also knew which of these graphics to put over them. So all the drop targets have their prefix right here, and then my drag items have the drag prefix. But not required. Storyline will work with anything you have, and regardless of the name, it's just something that's going to help this interaction in this example. So how do we make this interactive? Because at this point, all we're doing is basic slide design, some basic graphic design. Well, it's pretty much about as easy as clicking a button, click Insert, convert to freeform, and obviously drag and drop, and that's it. So now it's just a matter of selecting what items we want to be draggable and where we want them to go. So you'll notice though that each time I select a drag item, right, once I assign one, it's no longer in the list. And that's because you can't have one item dragged to multiple places, right? But we could have an item or multiple items dragged onto the same target. So some options there. Again, Storyline, just pretty much anything you can think about for drag and drop or can come up with, Storyline can do. So drag 6, drop target 6. And one more. Now, a couple options we'll play with here, but a lot of flexibility. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. Yep. Return items, if we wanted to return them either outside of their correct target or any target, we could do that. We're not doing that in this example. Reveal drag and drop or reveal drag items one at a time, and we can even we can sort them based on what items appear first. So I'll do a couple of them like that. It's okay. Snap dropped items to target. Yes, we want to snap to the center in this example because if it's off center, we're not going to see the shape the way it should be. And some other items, options for feedback that we're not going to use in this example. So save and close. Now, before I preview this, before I do this, I want to actually Control X and cut that starter graphic out. The reason is I don't want to show them where it goes. I just use that graphic right here just to position those drop targets to make sure that everything was lined up, and I was obviously just placing them over there so I could actually make sure that everything was in its right place. But now that I have that, I'm going to Control X and I'm going to jump over here in the bottom in the slide layers and I'm going to paste that because this is my guide. This is my feedback that says, hey, this is what it should have looked like right on, and I think I added a glow to it or picture effects, but really that's the idea. And then we can just add a fade in animation to give it just a little bit softer transition. All right, so really that's it. I'm going to go back to my base layer and let's go ahead and click preview. And here we go. So it's that easy. If I click submit, I'll get the incorrect feedback if I want to keep going, and so on. So I don't have any more options. So what do I need to do? Edit, drag, and drop. I only got one attempt. Ha! So I could make unlimited attempts. Maybe that's a better way to go, right? Or a couple attempts. So I'll leave it set to unlimited, and let's try it again. So what was happening was I got one try, didn't get it, and game is over. So now if I click submit, try again, and it keeps letting me go. So really cool feature. If you have any questions on it, obviously just post to the forums, but what's really neat is just anything you can pretty much come up with, you can do here in Storyline.